Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm doing a quick check-in video today, even though I did a live stream actually just 10 minutes ago. I just wanted to recap it into a smaller form for you guys so you don't have to watch that live stream. Basically, yesterday, uh, as we spoke about prior, I needed to make some changes to some of the core functionality of InputMapper because the way I was using FastMember to get device states from the input device down to the output device and through the mapping process was going to start causing more overhead than I found acceptable because of some features I wanted to add in. So I made the switch from FastMember, which previously was the fastest option for me, to Dictionary, which now has proven with the development, taking the directions that it has and some different design choices, dictionary, just plain Jane dictionary lookups are actually faster at this point now. So that change was mostly made yesterday. The change was made to the input devices, the device mapping loop, and the output device, and everything went smooth, worked fine. And today I made the changes to some of the UI components that interface with that, including the mapping window and the mapping drop-down list. Uh, so, um, and I also have my task manager open here just as a demonstration. It's actually running a lot lighter now, at least it is on my machine. I was averaging around 1.3, 1.5 was my average. Now it just spikes up there every few seconds when it's actually looking for devices. The actual mapping loop runs down at less than 1%. So that's pretty much half the utilization that it was seeing before, which doesn't mean anything on my machine. But those of you that are running a lot lighter of a machine, such as these little Celeron builds that might just be for like emulators and stuff like that, you will probably see a pretty good boost in performance. But basically, um, today's progress was the mapping dropdown and this mapping UI. So we had to get uh, new the new channel convention to work with this UI because it wasn't going to be able to populate off the old channel states. Excuse me, it wasn't going to be able to populate off the old one anymore. So now that this has been completed, um, it means I can move into the next phase, which I was planning for this. And the whole reason why I needed to make this change is because the way that I am currently doing mapping is going, or at least UI wise, is going away. Because every time you want to map a channel, say you want to switch your trigger and shoulder buttons, you want to map your left trigger to your right shoulder and your right shoulder to your left trigger. When you do that and you're presented with a window that looks like this, it can be very off-putting because you don't need anything after. All you need is the source and destination. All of this other stuff, if you start tinkering with it, it can screw up that basic mapping like that. So, all this stuff can be very intimidating to people that don't know what it all means, basically. So, my plan to keep functionality and at the same time simplify the UI and the process for people that just want the basics is to all of this stuff will go away, at least when you're looking at it at the front view. And what we'll do is we'll keep the source and destination channel. And then there will also be an option to add mapping modifiers. And those of you that have toyed around with my separate fork of InputMapper, which is InputMapper 2.0, that use something called the Open Device Interaction Framework, will remember what the mapping modifiers are as just little blocks that you can put in between the input and output that will modify the value that's being passed down the chain. So there will be a list of mapping modifiers that you can select from and add into the chain. Um, One of them will be add a reverse, add a toggle, add some tuning options, etc., etc. It'll be able to make this minimum duration and maximum duration a lot more simple for me to code. I'll be able to add that in. Being able to add those little blocks in will make it so you guys can make a mapping as complex as you want. Or for those of you that, like I said, just want the basic, I want to make my shoulder my triggers, my triggers my shoulders. It'll keep that quick. It'll keep the quick mapping and simple UI for you guys. So, like I said, everything else is working, so that means I can jump right into that plan starting this week. So that is my plan. The only thing I'm going to do before that is now that I have the new UI working with um, the new channel definitions and all that stuff, I'm going to populate all these devices again. You see I only have 4 in here for a test. I've only actually done 4 so far. But I'm going to go ahead and populate out the rest of the channels and then release a build for you guys to toy around with, especially those of you guys that run lower end machines, like I said, Celeron, stuff like that. I have a virtual machine that is a dual core set up on this computer to kind of emulate slower computers. So I'll test it in there. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think so far. And like I said, in the meantime, I will start working on the new mapping window. All right, guys, that's about it. Make sure that you use our Amazon affiliate link, which is below in this video on YouTube. If you plan to do any Amazon shopping, that helps us out immensely. Otherwise, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're almost at 1,000 users. I know this channel's boring. All I talk about is programming and crap like that. But we do get more YouTube visibility if we break that 1,000 milestone because YouTube is weird. So, yeah, subscribe to us and all that stuff. All right, guys, have a good one.